everyone, welcome back to my channel. I recently turned 40, and with this big milestone, I've been thinking a lot about life, and there are a few things that came up that I really wish I learned earlier, like in my 20s or 30s, or just things that I did earlier in life. And some of them may sound cliche, but I guess these sayings are popular for a reason, and these lessons kind of unfold over time. These aren't necessarily regrets because life unfolds the way that it's supposed to unfold, and you'll learn your lessons when you're supposed to, and your lessons will keep repeating until you learn them, I guess. But these are some things that I do wish I learned a little bit earlier, because it would have just reduced the amount of sad nights in my life, I think. Disclaimer: I am not trying to blame anyone else or any other circumstances. This is completely my own fault. I'm not trying to play the victim. This is just an honest reflection of what I could have done better in life. Codependency. I have never heard this word in my 20s or in my early 30s, but I do wish that I did. I wanted so badly to be included and to be liked by everybody. And I was just so overly concerned with my friends and my social life. I took on what other people needed and wanted and thought like, oh my gosh, I have to do this for them. And if I do, I'll be a good person, or I'm a good friend, and I have to go to their birthday party, and I have to get them a present, and I have to do this. But looking back on it, it was crap. It was codependency, and I just didn't even know it. I didn't want to look at myself or my wounds, so I distracted myself with what other people wanted and thought that that made up for it because I was being a good person. So this is really embarrassing to admit, but it wasn't until recently that I started advocating for myself and negotiating. In my first couple of jobs, I did not negotiate, and I know now that that has really hurt me. And now I've been on the other side of the interview table, and I know that companies usually do have a little bit more money. So, even if I accept the offer and I ask for 5% more or 10% more, then most likely they have it in their budget. They've already spent so much time vetting and searching for people that they're not going to want to lose out just because of a couple $1,000s more. And the reason I never did this or never thought about it was because I was scared. I was afraid that it was going to get taken away from me, that the job was going to get taken away from me, or I was scared, back to like the codependency, people pleasing, that my new hiring manager would be pissed off for some reason that I even had the audacity to ask. All of this was just lack mentality. While this might have been tied back to the way I was raised, I came from immigrant family, very typical of the American story. This was really never mirrored to me, but that doesn't mean that it's my parents' fault. It's my fault for not learning this fast. And it's taken me way too long to learn this. Oh, money habits. Everyone has money regrets, right? And of course, I wish I was able to buy a house in high school, because now the rates are so high, or the housing prices are so high, or of course, I wish I learned how to invest earlier in life outside of my 401k. But this isn't really about that type of money habits, or that I should have ate at home more, or I didn't need 3 Starbucks a week, because I would have done it anyways, right? So this isn't really about that. This is more related to point number 1 about codependency, and how I wasn't able to properly say no to things that I knew would have stretched me too thin, because I didn't want to, 1, disappoint people, or 2, I didn't have the courage to say no, or 3, I didn't want to seem like a bad person or that I was cheap. What it really comes down to is I didn't have to go to everything that I was invited to. And while that made me happy on like a superficial level that I was being invited, I should have known that I wasn't able to afford to go out Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday brunch, right? Like, I should have known that, and I should have said no. I didn't have to go out to the clubs on the weekends. And even if I only had 1 or 2 drinks, it's still the cab to and from the party, and buying someone a drink, buying myself a drink. So the night adds up really quickly. I didn't have to go to bottomless Sunday brunch or a fancy dinner that I knew was gonna make my stomach tie in knots when I got the bill, right? Or if you had to split it with however many amount of people when you order like a soup and a cocktail. I didn't have to go to every bachelorette party. And I mean, that could be a video on its own, wedding culture. But of course you wanna have a good time in life, but there's also a good balance, and I think that I was lacking that balance because I just so badly wanted to belong. I was overextending myself financially, and really I should have just said no. Okay, now this one I really do regret. With all the extra time I had in my 20s and early 30s, and the time I could have saved by not going to things that I was invited to, I really, really wish I took this time to learn some sort of skill that would have helped me out as like a side business or even just as extra work. And that could have been anything from digital marketing, learning how to code, Shopify, e-commerce, Photoshop, like photo editing, video editing, like all of these things I could have used and like made some extra income off of, and I'd be in a better situation, I think, now. Of course, we would learn all of that and then fast forward and we'd still kind of be in the situation we are now, but I would still feel better if I had these skills. A lot of what I previously mentioned just now could have easily been solved if I just learned a little bit about myself, committed a little bit to my healing, and just tried to heal these wounds, childhood traumas, whatever you want to call them, insecurities. And a lot of these would have been solved. So I really do wish that I learned how to do this, because therapy is expensive. So was there a way that I could have learned this earlier on without, having to pay the heavy price of therapy? And I think that there was, but focusing on myself would have been such a great gift. Like, why am I like this? Why does this make me upset? Why do I feel like this makes me cringe? I would have actually learned what codependency was. I would have learned that I was a people pleaser. I also would have healed my relationship with my parents a lot faster, and that is such a gift because time is not on our side, right? When it comes to your parents, when it comes to us in life. And I would have just grown much faster. Instead, I ended up distracting myself from myself. This last one is just for fun. So I do wish that I got a cat a little bit sooner in life. I've always been a dog person. We were a dog family. I got a chow chow when I was in kindergarten. My dad brought one home, and then we had a Pekingese. So I always just thought that like I was a dog person. And cats are cute, but I didn't know how to interact with them. So then my interactions with them weren't positive. And during COVID, Matt, my partner, convinced me to get a cat. And then I realized that, oh my God, I am a cat. Like, this is great, right? Like, they're so freaking weird and entertaining, and that makes it just such a joy to have in your household. We just got another kitten, and he's even weirder than the first one, and it just lights up my day. And also, they keep rodents away. If you have any bugs in your house, they catch them. So it's really like a win-win situation. Also, their abilities to hunt are just amazing. Like, my cat caught a bird off of the patio the other day. She's not even an outdoor cat. She just caught one off the patio. And their skills are amazing, and it's so cool to watch that this is just so ingrained in them. And of course, they are less maintenance than dogs, which makes it a huge plus, especially if you travel a lot, or if you just are busy, have a busy life. They're easier to take care of, and it's kind of easy to find someone to come take care of them because they just kind of have to come in and give them food. Of course, they can play with them, but if you're really desperate, like, they just have to come by and make sure that they have food and water, and you're good to go. So there you have it. Those are some things I wish I learned earlier in life. Leave me a comment below if there's anything that you guys wish you had learned earlier in life. Give it a like if you resonated with this video. And if you did enjoy this one, check out this other video where I talk about how I stayed grounded when I was laid off from my job. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.